Steady. Radical Jack here. Day 12. And wow, it's like we're heading for 2 weeks now. It's great. Things are, moving, and you don't be long seeing the days go. And it's definitely, we're in. Like I said to someone today, there's no escape. It's like going through a cave. Where there's only one way to go. You can't go back on yourself. And already I feel like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's extremely cold, as I've said the last 4 times. We've nearly had a week of it, I suppose. But easterly winds up top in Loughcrew, pretty serious, But yeah, really hard ground, and each morning has a different view. The sun has been coming up on the horizon, pretty spectacular, orange ball. Sunset's pretty much the same, and the reverse. So it's great to be feeling the the internal dialogue, slowly disappear. Less and less and less chatter, definitely. And in turn noticing things. There's one morning I forgot my flask, which I don't bring anymore now, because of what happened. There's in Loughcrew, there's just down by the centre, near the car park, there's a little spring, and somebody is kind of put a seat there and made it. I don't know if it's an old well or a new well, but it's the water's very tasty anyway, very nice. So because I never brought my fluids that morning, I ended up going, I'll just go to the well, and now it's become part of my ritual, and it's a nice little ritual because it's quiet. No real sound pollution, and I started to sit down, and I have 3 cups of water, and I do my little water Gospel of the Essenes, and it's it's very noticeable now. Suddenly, this kind of screechy, kind of hummy bass, sometimes I get in my ears, and I've noticed it dissipate, especially when I stop smoking. I guess there's when you take that pull, and you're taking that smoke into your lungs. It's I'm not sure about the long-term effect on hearing. I've never really known anything about it, whether there's any correlation or connection to that, but certainly for me, it's often been very noticeable where I might have smoked for 6 weeks or 2 months, even a few weeks, and hardly noticed anything, whatever the healing that might have taken place. But very noticeable then if I just start smoking for a night, even, or a couple of nights, and then it's like this hum comes back, So I don't know if it's a personal thing or whatever, but certainly I've noticed that dissipate over the last few weeks, and especially the last 10 or 12 days. So, and what's replaced now, as well as the internal dialogue sliding away, is the bird song. Started to notice the bird song, and sometimes it's because I guess when you're dramatizing stuff in your head, or you're really not able to let certain things go that slip in, it's a chatter, and it's noisy chatter. And so therefore our attention is on that, and then we're not listening to the sounds of nature, And I wonder, when you really look at yourself and you look at this amount of time that you may spend around the computer, the television, workplace, the car, everything where there's noise pollution, the street, the shops, the meeting of people, the conversation that might take place wherever, even in the moments of peace around a park or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I'm really focused on that now, and putting my attention and being aware of these things that are around me. And certainly that's one of the benefits of being on my own with this, and not meeting anybody up top or on the walk. Meanwhile, though, yeah, I wrote a song today, which was nice. First bit of lyrical content, if you like, which was inspired by maybe my friend Lara Dooley. He put something up on perhaps one of the not last night's 15 minutes YouTube, maybe the night before. It could have been 8. But certainly I just put something down in answer to what he said, and it felt really nice, just the flow and the inspiration coming from what he had put, which was really beautiful. I love this man, Lara. If you haven't met Lara, please connect with him on Facebook, Lara Dooley. I hope you don't mind me saying this, Lara, but you're a beautiful man. You're connection to word, and you're a poet, in effect. And I hope one day that we get to see a book of your writings, because everything I read it just blows my mind, and it feels so genuine and real and beautiful, and just like full of factual and pure inspiration. A true writer, writing from the heart, So he inspired me, and then I went on to write that song, which is up on Facebook and on my page at the moment. So, and it just felt really good, and it was just kind of what I'm saying, in opposition to, it felt like a call from the mothers, like, where is everybody, and where is everybody when it comes to nature, and how far away we are, how disconnected from the land we are, and I know we have our winter, and that's fine, and all the rest of it, really necessary. Even myself, I like to just be, tucked up at home in front of the fire and not really dealing with people, not, just as little as possible, and having that reflective time. And even if it's just watching stuff on YouTube, worth watching or listening to, it's still having that time for reflection and study, and of course, but now it's spring, so. But I wonder as well, even though I have been through these periods before where I may be on a hill, or I catch every sunset for a year. It's still minimal, even in a spiritual place like Glastonbury, where I spent a lot of time on the Glastonbury tour. Another amazing hill, if you've not heard of it or known of it, in the centre of Glastonbury town. But a phenomenal place, a phenomenal centre, and full of energy, and spectacular sunsets and sunrises, and the beautiful dragon's breath, as they call it. The mist comes in, and you can see Glastonbury. Avalon is another word for Glastonbury. Innis written, all this kind of means Isle of Glass, Isle of Apples, and it says isle as in island. It used to be an island, so it was surrounded by water. So therefore, when the mist comes in, you get this explosion of just pure white. It just looks like the ocean, and you just barely see the hilltops, and it looks as it may have looked, when the tide came in, and it was surrounded by water, but a very mystical place, often out there for the sunrise or the sunsets, and it's a humongous amount of alternative people, and even that, people can get caught up in their life, and there's a lot of hypocrisy as well, in relation to people who talk about stuff, and this is not just in Glastonbury, it's a generalization here, we, myself included, and no real action, so it's one thing to talk about something, and it's another to do it. So and it seems to be, to me at least, we are we are lacking in that which is good for us. And one of the greatest healers is nature herself, you know, whether it be, you know, at this time of year or any time, you know, certainly in the summer, more hot times, we can get our shoes off, walking our feet, and you know, making that connection. You know, something magically happens when you put your feet on the ground and walking through the woods. You know, there's you know, if you have any problems, you know, any mental conditions or anything like that, just sitting by a tree, you know, the science is able to measure this kind of thing, you know, and you know, it's just to have a breath of fresh air around the woods, you know, where the oxygen is pure. You know, it would cure many things like depression, you know. So it's really important to get out and connect with nature, you know, because our lives have become so busy, and it's not about not having the time. It really is about making time. We must make time for these things, you know, because we end up you know, having more stamina, more endurance, more productivity, and all that, you know. So it's that when we pull back, you know, to go forward again, we're much more efficient, you know, and you know, these are just facts, you know. There's nothing spiritual about this or anything. It's just, this is it. It's half the battle, you know. So yeah, this is the book, by the way, the Gospel of the Essenes. This is where the 14 communions are. You don't have to get this book. It's really hard to get because it's pretty rare. But you can get the 14 communions on the internet. They're there if you just put this in. And they will come up as the angel of air, you know, the angel of water, the angel of sun, the angel of life, the angel of love, the angel of peace, the angel of wisdom. The 14 are there, you know. And you can read them at your own leisure. I find that if you want to reprogram your brain, activate something ancient within you, you know, these are very good. There's one for every morning, one for every evening, and the ones in the morning are with the mother, and the ones in the evening are with the father, and it's beautifully laid out, you know. So it's just something that you could practice to help maybe activate something in yourself, or kickstart your you know, your rejuvenation and possible reconnection to you know, nature, because they're very beautiful. And so this brings me to the third communion, which is the angel of air, and this is my favorite, and I think it's very important, you know, in connection with the breath, and this, I mean, this is it. It's all in there. So here it goes. Angel of air, she who spreads the perfume of sweet-smelling fields of spring grass after rain, of the opening buds of the rose of Sharon, we worship the holy breath which is placed higher than all other things created. For lo, the sovereign, eternal, luminous space where rules the unnumbered stars is the air we breathe in and the air we breathe out. And in the moment betwixt the breathing in and the breathing out is hidden the mysteries of the infinite garden. Angel of air, holy messenger of the earthly mother, enter deep within me as the swallow plummets from the sky, that I may know the secrets of the wind and the music of the stars. So that's the third communion. And yeah, listen to it, read it. It's a powerful piece, and I think they're all powerful in their own way, you know, and poetic, if you like, and you know, they've helped me, you know, and so like I said, I've been inspired to remember them, learn them all. I had them learned off by heart, but I've forgotten some of them because I didn't practice them, and so it's my mission to get them all down, and those are the short ones. The evening ones are twice as long, so I've got a fair bit ahead of me to remember them, you know, so that I have one for you every 6 days during the 88 days. So we're just about to run out of time again. It's starting to be a real pleasure to connect in this way. I'm starting to feel a bit more relaxed and more comfortable, and not worried about anything, you know. I'm just coming here and just freestyling. I've no idea what I'm going to do, and I think it works best for me. So peace, love, and harmony to you all. And yeah, see you tomorrow. Get a sunset.